Hello and welcome back for another video. In this one, I'll be breaking down my NBA play-in tournament predictions for the East and West Conference. The play-in tournament starts Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, but before that happens, let's break down some predictions. Let's start with the East, and the first matchup is the Miami Heat as the 7th seed versus the Atlanta Hawks as the 8th seed. This matchup occurred last year in the playoffs in round 1, and it wasn't very close, with the Heat winning the series 4-1. But this time around, the Hawks have DeJounte Murray, who can help Trae Young from constant ball pressure. My prediction for the series is that Miami Heat will win in a close game under 10 points, with Jimmy Butler leading the charge. The Heat will ultimately take the 7th seed in the East, which has them facing the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. Now let's move to the next Eastern Conference play-in matchup of the Toronto Raptors as the 9th seed and the Chicago Bulls as the 10th seed. The Raptors have a solid starting 5 but lack depth and shooting. The Bulls have been subpar for most of the season up until late February and early March. Since February 24th, the Bulls have been 13-9. My prediction for the series is the 10th seed Chicago Bulls will win in a close game with the help of recent winning momentum and depth. The Bulls will move on to face the Atlanta Hawks for the final playoff spot for the East. Now, if it does come down to the Bulls versus the Hawks for the final East playoff spot, then I believe it will be a great game to watch. Both teams want to win, and if they don't, it'll be a disappointing season for either, as both had playoff aspirations before the season started. The Atlanta Hawks are the higher seed, so they should have home court advantage, which should help. At this moment in time, I believe Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are a better duo than Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, but I also believe the rest of the Hawks roster is better than the rest of the Bulls roster. My honest prediction for this matchup is the Atlanta Hawks win in a very close game that will take a total team effort. But I could see it going either way at the end of the day. The Hawks will move on and face the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round of the playoffs. Now let's move on to the West. The first matchup is the Los Angeles Lakers as the 7th seed and the Minnesota Timberwolves as the 8th seed. After last night's debacle for the Minnesota Timberwolves, with Kyle Anderson and Rudy Gobert getting into it on the bench, as well as Jaden McDaniels punching a wall and breaking his wrist, I'm not quite sure where they stand now. Not to mention, the Lakers have been rolling lately and looking good. My prediction for this matchup is the Los Angeles Lakers will win by at least 10 points and move on to the 7th seed in the West to play the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round. The next West matchup is the New Orleans Pelicans as the 9th seed and the Oklahoma City Thunder as the 10th seed. To me, this is an interesting matchup because the Thunder have the best player between the two with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, while the Pelicans have the next best two in CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. One thing that may factor in here is home court advantage, which the Pelicans have, and also went 27-14 at home this season. Another factor is playoff experience, and the Thunder as a whole basically have none, while CJ McCollum has more playoff experience than the Thunder combined. With that being said, my prediction for this series is the New Orleans Pelicans will win by around 5 to 8 points in a close game and will move on to face the Minnesota Timberwolves for the last spot in the West. The last matchup to discuss in the West is the Minnesota Timberwolves as the 8th seed and the New Orleans Pelicans as the 9th seed. Jaden McDaniels being out with a broken wrist most definitely hurts in this matchup because he was probably going to be the primary defender on Pelican star Brandon Ingram. With McDaniels out and the Timberwolves' chemistry up in the air at the moment, I don't have much confidence in them. Not to mention, other Pelicans players have been stepping up and playing well recently. such as Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and big man Jonas Valanciunas. My prediction for this series is the New Orleans Pelicans will complete the upset over the Timberwolves and take the last playoff spot in the West to face the Denver Nuggets in the first round. Well, those are my NBA play-in tournament predictions for the East and West Conference this season. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts on my picks and who you'd see coming out of the East and West play-in. I also wanted to mention my 500 sub giveaway, where I'll be giving away this Andrew Wiggins NFT to a random subscriber, and all you have to do to win is be subscribed to Z-Ball with subscriptions on public, leave a comment on any video, and have an NBA Top Shot account set up so I can transfer the NFT to you. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.